This lesson is applications of linear equations, and I know that a lot of you think applications, you go, don't worry, take your time, we can do this. So first thing we're going to do is translate some expressions. So we're going to look at 1a. 3 times a number decreased by 10. Well, a number is always represented by a variable, x, n. So in this case, I'm going to let x equal the number. Okay, and now we could go ahead and translate this expression. 3 times the number would be 3x. Decreased by is subtraction. Times, of course, is multiplication, and we're decreasing it by 10. So this would be the expression, which is a lot shorter than writing it out in English, which is why I love math. Okay, B. 5 more than the product of 4 and a number. Tricky. Again, I'm going to let x equal the number. So I could write a little x there. Product means multiply. A little dot there. More than means add. So whenever you have more than, you guys, I like to put the first guy second. So we're going to plus 5 it. And product means I'm going to multiply 4 times the number. So it's 4x plus 5. 5 more than this product. That's why I like to put the 5 at the end, because I'm increasing the product by 5 units. Okay, so now we're going to do some word problems. So here's some strategy. This is my strategy, and actually the author of the book strategy as well. We read the problem, we find out what we don't know, and we're going to assign a variable to that. You know, I don't know his salary. Let x equal his salary. Write an equation that shows the relationship. Solve the equation and write the solution statement with units. And then check for reasonableness. Okay, if his salary is $5 billion a year, we're in trouble. Okay, not even Bill Gates makes that much a year. Okay, so here we go. In Bedrock, the citizens can rent cars from Rec Rental for $40 down and 10 cents a mile. If you rent the car and your bill is $54.60, how many miles did you drive the car? So we are finding the mileage. So I'm going to let x equal the number of miles, not just miles, because that doesn't mean anything. So now we are going to write the equation. $40 down means that no matter how many miles I drive, I have to pay $40. So I'm going to write plus 40. And it's 10 cents a mile. So if I drive 2 miles, it will be 20 cents. X miles, it will be 0.10x. So 0.10x plus 40 is equal to my total amount I pay. And now we have a relationship. We wrote an equation. We represented, we wrote the equation. Now we're going to solve. And generally, these problems, you guys, are easy to solve once you set them up. Okay, so 0.10x is equal to divide by 0.10. If you use your calculator, or you can move it to the right one, x is equal to 146 miles. Let's write a statement for the answer. You can drive 146 miles with $54.60. Now, the next one is, these are just all different types of problems. So a 46-foot piece of rope is cut into 3 pieces. So I'm going to write my 46, there's my rope, and I realize it's 46 feet. So I just wrote that. And it's cut into 3 pieces, so the second piece is 3 times as long as the first piece, and the third piece is 2 feet more than 7 times the length of the first piece. Find the lengths of the pieces. So I'm going to mark off 3 pieces. This is my first, second, and third. So I am going to let the first piece be X. All right, so under the word first, I let it be X. Under the word second, it says the second piece is 3 times as long as the first piece. So the second piece is going to be 3x, 3 times x. And the third piece is 2 feet more than 7 times the length of the first piece. So more than, we know, represents plus. 7 times is multiplication. So remember when we did that one problem, we did the more than at the end. So 2 feet more than 7 times the first piece, but the first piece is represented by x. So there you go. If we sum up the lengths of these 3 pieces, they will equal 46 feet. So here's my equation, x plus 3x plus 7x plus 2 is equal to 46. Combining like terms, 11x plus 2 equals 46. Subtract 2 from both sides. Now sometimes you guys might be getting so good that you don't need to even write that minus 2 and you get to this result. That's fine. So I'm going to divide both sides by 11 and I get x is equal to 4. So let's represent that. So x equals 4 feet. Okay, let's write in blue for a few minutes. All right, here we go. And the second one is 3x. So that really is 3 times 4, which is 12 feet. And the third is 7x plus 2, which is equal to 7 times 4 plus 2, which is 28 plus 2, which is 30 feet. So if I'm going to write a sentence as the sum of the whole thing, sum it up, the first piece is 4 feet. The second piece is 12 feet. And the third piece is 30 feet. Now, let's take a look at consecutive integers. Consecutive means I'm one right after another. So 1, 2, 3, or 7, 8, 9. So we're adding 1 each time. So if I'm going to sum them or add them up, I'm going to let x equal the first integer. What's an integer? Negative, positive, whole number. Then I'm going to add 1 to it to get my second integer. And I'm going to add 2 to it to get my third. I'm I'm going to add 2 to the first guy because it's x plus 1 plus 1, which is x plus 2. And then I'm going to add them up to 102. And now we just have to figure it out. Combine like terms. 3x plus 3 is equal to 102. Subtract 3. 3x equals 99. Divide by 3. X equals 33. If we don't get whole numbers here, we're in big trouble because they said that they're integers. So if you're getting a fraction, you did something wrong. All right, and x plus 1 would be 34 because 33 plus 1 is 34. And x plus 2 would be 35. And if I add these all up, they do add to 102. So in my statement, the three integers are 33, 34, and 35, which is how you're probably going to put that into my math lab. But what happens if you're doing even or odd integers? Even or odd consecutive integers are always represented by x, x plus 2, x plus 4, x plus 6. That's when you're doing even or odd. You're like, why odd? You're adding an even number. But if your number is originally odd, to get to the next odd one, you have to add 2. So if your number is 9, that's odd. To get to the next odd one is 11, you would add 2. Same with even. So keep those in mind too. Write that down in the margin. 3 times a number is the same as 26 more than that number. What is the number? I love these because they're pretty straightforward. So let's let x equal the number. So 3 times the number is 3x. Is equal. The same as, is the same as, or is generally signifies you to write an equal sign. 26 more than, again that more than thing comes up, so we're going to do plus 26, more than that number, x. Now we solve. Beautiful. So I'm going to subtract x. Remember, it's a 1x here, so 2x is 26. X is 13. So writing my conclusion, the number is 13. Now, I haven't been checking for reasonableness, you guys, that much. So if we think about it, 13. This one is not easy to check for reasonableness, but the other ones, if you think about the mileage of your car, if you were driving 7,000 miles or 2 miles, not a reasonable answer. So let's take a look at the next one. Now we're going to shift gears, and these are applications of decimals, okay? And so again, you're going to understand the problems, reread the problems. Don't get intimidated because you can do this. Let's try it. Philip bought a video for $38.96. He paid with 2 $20 bills. What is his change? So if I think about it, I'm going to let x equal the change. Okay, so he paid with 2 $20 bills. So 2 $20 bills is 2 times 20, which is 40 bucks. That's how he paid. So he needs to figure out how many change is left over. So it's going to be 40, take away 38.96, and that's equal to his change. And you're like, I can do this in my head. I can write it on the side. Yes, these you might do a little bit less formally, but I'm going to do them formally so you can see how it all works out. So when you go to subtract these, If you do it by hand, it would be $40 subtract $38.96. Just recall that you line up your decimal points and you can subtract. It's $1.04. So the statement, Philip gets $1.04 back, plus his video that he bought. Next. 1 week in March, in Clearfield, it rained 2.43 inches on Monday, 1.81 inches on Thursday, and 1.01 inches on Friday. It didn't rain any of the other days. What's the total rainfall? So I'm going to let x equal the total rainfall. So you're like, I just have to add these. Yes, that is correct. So I'm going to say 2.43 plus 1.81 plus 1.01 is equal to the total rainfall. Now when you're adding decimals, you're going to line them up. So I'm going to get 512. So it rained. Oh, let's do it in blue. It rained a total of 5.25 inches, which is a lot for a week. Really, it is. Must be the rainy season. Next. The nutritional chart on a bag of flavored cheese puffs says that each serving contains 0.25 grams of sodium. The chart also says there are 5 servings in a bag. How many grams of sodium are in the entire bag of cheese puffs? So let x equal total grams of sodium. Now you could add 0.25, 0.25, 0.25, 0.25, 0.25 if you want, or you can multiply 5 times 0.25, let's write that as an asterisk, sorry you guys, is equal to x. So when you go to multiply these, you're going to get 1.25. So again, write the statement. There are 1.25 grams of sodium in the entire bag. I didn't write entire. Okay, next. Andrea buys $28.58 worth of gasoline for her truck. The gas station charges 1.429 per gallon, which is like so low. I can't even believe it. We must be in Mayberry or something. So I'm going to get my calculator out for this one because it's a little bit easier to use. So I'm going to let x equal the number of gallons. So it's going to be 28.58 divided by 1.429, and that's going to equal x. So when I do that, 28.58 divided by 1.429, that's going to equal 20 gallons. So the statement, she bought 20 gallons of gas. Now let's take a look at some fraction applications. A recipe for cookies calls for 2 3/4 cups of butter. You are only making a half batch. how much butter would you need? So I'm going to let x equal cups of butter. So I'm taking 2 3/4 and I'm multiplying by a half or dividing by 2, but it's easier to multiply by a half. Let's recall how to do this. You can do it on your calculator, but I'm going to do 11 over 4 times 1/2, which is equal to 11 over 8. Now, in this case, it's much more clear to write it as a mixed number. So 8 into 11 goes 1, and 3/8 left over. So statement, you need 1 3/8 cups of butter, which is a lot of butter. That's like two sticks and a little extra. Number 6. A wall in Carla's garden is to be built using brick that is 2 7/8 inches wide, and the mortar joint is 3/4 of an inch wide. Use the diagram to find the height of the wall. So what we're going to do is we're going to count up. I'm going to let x equal the height of the wall. Ta-da! All right, so we're going to count up how many bricks we have. Up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bricks times 2 7/8 for each brick. Plus, we have to count the mortar joints, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4 mortar joints. So we're going to do 4 times 3/4, and that's going to give me my height. So we have to add the bricks up, and you can add them, or you can multiply by 5, and then add the mortar joints up, or you can just multiply by 4 and then add them together. So 5. We're going to multiply, turn this into a improper fraction. So 16 plus 7 is 23 over 8. And this one's really nice because the 4's divide out and we just get 3. So now we have to do a little bit more work here. 5 times 23 is 115. So I'm going to go over here. 115 over 8 plus 3 is equal to x. Well, 115 over 8, I'm going to do the math for you. 8 goes into a 115, 14 with 3 left over. So it's 17 3/8. The statement, the height of the wall is 17 3/8 inches. Ta-da! Last but not least, we're almost done. I know you're probably exhausted from this section. Asher drove 305 miles on 10 1/6 gallons of gasoline. Calculate how many miles per gallon she gets in her vehicle. So, and we're going to use a calculator to help us out with this, but I'm going to let x equal miles per gallon. So we're going to take her total mileage divided by the number of gallons she used, and that's going to be the miles per gallon. So I'm going to do partially by hand, but any multiplying we probably will do on the calculator. Let's turn this into an improper fraction. So it'll be 61 over 6. So 305 times 6 over 61. So we're going to do 305 times 6 divided by 61. And we get 30. 30 miles per gallon. How did I do that? We're going to take 305, multiply it by 6, and that's going to be over 61. So 305 multiplied by 6 and divide by 61, and that's how we got the 30. Cool? The statement. Miles per gallon. We can do MPG. Last but not least, number 8, and this trips everybody up. Okay? How many 3/4 ounce doses are available in a 12-ounce container of medicine? Okay, so we have a 12-ounce container, you guys. Let's say this is 12 ounces. And we're going to divide them into 3/4 ounce dosages. So what you're really going to do is take 12 and divide it by 3/4. And that's going to equal our x. What's x? Let x equal the number of doses. Now we're going to get more than 12 doses because I don't even take an ounce each time I do it. I take less than an ounce. So if each dose was an ounce, I would get 12. But I'm going to get more. So when I do that, I'm going to take 12 times 4/3. This one's an easy one to do by hand. 3 goes into 3 once, 3 goes into 12 4 times. 4 times 4 is 16. The statement. You get 16 doses. Sorry. Let's erase that. There we go. Doses. Oh my goodness, of medicine. All right. A relief is in sight because you now can do the homework assignment for this.